Today I'll be restoring my 2014 Ironmaster Dumbbells. They've served me well for over a decade and it's time to get them back into tip-top shape. Of the adjustable dumbbell options on the market, the Ironmasters still rank high on most grading tier lists. They for sure are not the fastest adjustable dumbbells, but when locked down, they may just be the most robust. Over the years, mine have picked up a fair amount of rust as well as some tarnishing on the handles. Now we have a couple different ways that we can clean these guys up, and two of the most common options would be sandblasting off the plates or using a wire wheel on an angle grinder. However, both of these methods will be fairly time consuming and will force the user to focus on one plate at a time. On my restoration, we'll be using a product called Evapo-Rust. This is the first time that I've used this product and I was very impressed with its performance. In order to strip these plates in bulk, I set up a rack consisting of a wooden dowel and a heavy wire. It fits into a medium-sized plastic Tupperware container so that I can suspend the plates in the fluid. After about 4 to 8 hours of soaking, all the rust was gone from the plates. I would then take the plates out of the Evapo-Rust bath and place them into another container to be rinsed off with water. Before starting the rinse, I'd load the dowel back up with the next batch and get it in the bath. I thoroughly rinsed these plates and then laid them out to dry. To accelerate the drying process, I used a heat gun, but a hairdryer could have also done a great job here. Once they're dry, I painted the plates individually with some Rust-Oleum hammered black paint, then hung them up on my welding table to dry. This paint does look awesome, but I have some criticisms at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. On most all the plates, I repeated the process. However, on some of the larger 120-pound add-on kit plates, I noted that there was some flaky paint, so I used a wire wheel to clean them up. I did the same thing for the face of the adjustable kettlebell. Due to their weight, I painted them laid out on some 2x4s in my backyard. To clean up the handles, I used some steel wool and metal polish. This process is a little time consuming and your fingers will get a workout, but is very effective for cleaning up the rust spots on the handles. I used the same method to clean up the locking pins and it worked very well. The Ironmaster stand was just filthy, so I sprayed it down with some simple green and wiped it down good. Some of the tougher spots, I used a little steel wool to get the grime off of it. I peeled off the rubber on the top of the stand and did my best to remove the old adhesive. I then applied some spray adhesive and laid the rubber back onto the top. This really isn't the best piece of rubber, and if you have access to some thin 3/16 of an inch or maybe even some 1/4 inch horse stall mats, you'd probably want to use those instead. Overall, I'm pretty dang happy with how this whole restoration turned out. I will say that the hammered finish paint from Rust-Oleum seems to take a long time to cure. Over a week later, there is still just a slight bit of tack when handling the plates when they are pressed together. It's actually most apparent when the plates contact the rib rubber of the stand, but no stickage at all on my horse stall mat floor. I'm not sure why that is, but it's fairly annoying since the plates will live on the stand. I've noticed that they're getting better as the days tick on, so I'm fairly sure it's a curing issue with the paint and will resolve itself with time and airflow across the plates. Like I said though, I'm happy to have these plates cleaned up and painted. They look much better. If you got something out of this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until the next time, train hard.